So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to welcome all of you to our webinar about public tendering in Ukraine. My name is George Weingartner. I'm the Commercial Counsel at the Austrian Embassy in Ukraine, and I would like to say hello to every one of you in Austria and Ukraine. We are very happy that today we have about the opportunity to hear about the procedures and also legal aspects of public tendering in Ukraine. As you already might have heard, there has been quite a significant development during the last years about public tendering, sales and lease of communal and municipal properties, and we will today put a light and shed a light on that. The program of today will be that we will start first with some presentation on the guidelines on participation of foreign companies in the electronic e-procurement system, which has been introduced in Ukraine. After that, we will go into detail in the e-auctions for sale and lease of governmental and municipal assets in Ukraine, and then we will have a look into legal aspects. I would very much like to welcome gentlemen from Prosoro, which is the platform doing this, at our webinar here. And also I would like to welcome Mr. Dukunski from DLF, law consultants, about the legal aspects. After that, in the end, there will be a Q&A session, and the expected end of the webinar will be at about 11:15. With that, I would like to hand over and give the floor to the first of our speakers, Mykola Tkachenko. He is in Prosoro, which is the e-platform actually conducting the e-auctions in Ukraine, and he will talk about the guidelines on participation of foreign companies. Mykola, the floor is yours. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you, Georg. Thanks for having me here. So, as Georg says and pronounced rightly my surname and name, Mykola Tkachenko, I'm the CEO of Prosoro. It's a state-owned company. We are the administrators of state procurement platform, which also names Prosoro, by the way. So this platform serves all state procurements related to non-weapon purposes. So weapon is still outside of us, but we are working on extending our area, our responsibility. So in few words, I'll shed light on the system, on what we did since 2016. The platform was developed and launched on 2016, so it's more than 8 years, almost 8 years, by the way. We are recognized as one of the most transparent and effective procurement system worldwide. And why it's so? Our system is an open source, so anyone with relevant experience can go and check the code, and you will not find there any backdoors, any possibility to have impact on the bidding process. And we also continuously working with the white hackers, so with the community, and we have a program of bug bounty, which continuously working, finding any system errors, backdoors, and so on and so forth, and we are repairing it continuously. Also, we have open API, so which grants access to our data. Our data is transparently published to the society, so you can go, you can take any information from the database, which is 330 terabytes, so it's huge one now, and all the historical data sits in our platform. So if you would like to track any historical data, if you would like to see what country where what the interest in during these years, it's there. Our API, it's open, so you don't need any other cumbersome process to grab the data. Electronic submission means that everything which states buying can be, so the bidder can submit their proposal only in electronic way. So we don't use any post service and envelopes to get these proposals. And our opening procedure is for equal to any participants. So since the exact time is coming, then all the proposals are discovered and society can see it at the same time when the buying entity as well. So there is no room for to manipulate the data to make it with some back processes. Let's say it like this. Public BI model also helps everyone sees our data from the pre-prepared perspective. So Transparency International, they are our partners and they own this BI model. So it's very, how to say it, very reliable source of knowledge, source of truth, where you can also see all our data. bi.prozoro.org shows all the information. It's also available for public access. Maybe if you would be interested, I will share it with my presentation and all the relevant links with Georg, and he will populate it to you. Two-level hybrid system. What does it mean? Prozoro itself is the central database, and we have 13 authorized connected to this central database marketplaces. These marketplaces are commercial, so it's not state-owned, and this helps us to avoid the situation when someone would like to manipulate the data and provide any impact on procurements. So all the participants, all the ecosystem participants, either buyers or bidders, both of them are connected to these marketplaces. You can choose any of them, even several of them. It's just about your use and user experience, and feels like you love this or that interface. So blue, green, or red color. From the functionality perspective, all of them are similar. From the user experience, they quite differ, and each of them has its own support service. Any other extra features which you may like, so just subscribe to certain category and so on and so forth. We recently launched the updated version of our portal. Now it contains more more information in more convenience way, so it's easier to understand what is the stage of the tender, what is the tender like background, what is the subject of the tender, and who is participating, and so on and so forth. So all the information is in the portal. Shortly we will launch it in English, but still you can use the embedded translation tool in the browser. It works perfectly. We double checked it, and there is no need to to use the English version, so you can just immediately translate to Deutsch, English, Chinese, Japanese, and so on and so forth. The registration process is very simple. You go to one of these 13 marketplaces. On the next slide, you will see them. You can find it also on our portal. Go to our partners area, and you will find the links and all the contact information. So registration process takes hours, not days. It's very easy. Support team from the marketplaces will help you to do everything you need. They will teach you how to subscribe on categories, how to subscribe on preferred buyers, how to do not miss any procedure which you are interested in. So you can find the tender, you can apply for participation. Previously, you will check the tender requirements. It's also available for not only for participants but also for society. Each of the around the world can access to our portal and see the relevant online information in online mode. Offer the best price if it's the price criteria was assessed as winning, winning purpose and win. Our statistics show that each fifth bidding provides you average. So you will start winning after the fifth participation. That's for the beginnings. Then the statistic becomes even better. There are 12. Recently, we added another one partner, but it's still not on the slide. So it happened 2 weeks ago, and I didn't manage to update the slides. Registration process, mostly it's the same for each of our marketplaces. It's two, 3 steps. So you will just provide the contact information, some information regarding your company. There is no need to subscribe to sign the submissions for international companies. By the way, there is no limits for international companies to participate in our procurements. We are the EU candidate, so we are part of the EU program, and all the rules which are relevant and applicable entire the Euro Union almost in the same way are applicable for Ukraine. So you will not be surprised starting participating in our tenders. So that's just the example of how you can subscribe from one of the marketplaces. You can choose the category. By the way, support team will tell you in online mode how to deal with their marketplace, so it shouldn't be an issue at all. We use CPV categories same as you do. You also can find and subscribe anything you want regarding the new buying procedures by keywords, by customers, as I already said. If you want to make a funnel for you with expected value, so you don't want to take part on the bidding procedures which are less than 5 million euro. We understand why, so you can just create the relevant filter and apply on the high value procedures. And also you can just choose how frequent this email notification will bother you, so not to miss your preferred tenders. So that's how it works. Just the star, as you see it, the most common way as you used to use to subscribe, and then you will get all the notification regarding the tenders. 20. Okay, the fees are a bit higher probably than in EU, so that's what we recognized from World Bank. But still, that lets us avoid the situation when someone who really doesn't want to take part in procurements, but just to create the noise and to make this procurements unsuccessful, if I may. So we are trying to avoid this situation. That's why $100 or 94 euro as a maximum for the tenders for the bids which are higher than 92,000 euro. It's the fee for participation in case the buyer cancels this procurement until before opening. This money goes back to your account. By the way, during the submission, you will the procedure for non-residential companies are even simpler than for national. You don't need to sign it by the digital signature, and there is the very simple process. So we trust all the European companies. So you just prepare the proposal, submit it with any other evidences. Okay, donor procedure. From September 2023, we came beyond the state rules of procurements. We cooperated with the World Bank and the other investment banks and created the constructor for procurement procedure, which fits the donor rules based on our best practice, based on their best practice. We created the new procedure, and World Bank certified us in September 2023 as the system which fits the donors' rules. Donors, I mean World Bank, EBRD, all the IFIs which funds the reconstruction of Ukraine. There are already over 500 procedures started in the system since then, and it's continuously growing. If we would see the statistic for January 2024, it was not more than 20. Now it's 500. So for 1 quarter, it becomes huge spare for such kind of procurements. It made like a construction. Any buyer can configure it by the needs of the donors' rules. And shortly we will also add the bank's approval. So you will be like confident that all the procedures is exactly according to the bank's rules. So we are going to get no objection from the banks on the certain stages of the procurement process. That's how it looks for the buyers. So when they are starting the procedures, they can pick and choose some options. I will not stop here. Shortly, we will launch restricted procedure, which means that for very rare or very intellectual type of procurements, we will define the several potential participants, and then we will submit for them this procedure. That's all from my side. For today, I've tried to manage and keep it in time. So if you have any questions, I can stay here for a while. And also, there are several slides, like a backup for this presentation I will share with Georg. It shows the step-by-step process, how to register and how to find the tenders if you're interested in. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mykola, for such an interesting presentation and for sharing the presentation. And this time we have one question from the participant in chat. How foreign company can place deposit for participation? In past, we used Prozoro via branch in Ukraine.
Yes. So the most convenient way is to register the branch in Ukraine. So then it will be very easy. Marketplaces also can provide you with such can help you with such deposits. I know that they have the cabinet, and you can you have the accounts there, so you can just pay for them, and they will like increase your balance, and you can pay for submission from this balance. So it's not an issue at all.
Okay, Mykola, I am asking so because we participate in past. So if we speak about foreign company, they send money to deposit to some trader, I don't know. And if it's not happened to send back, it's not easy currency to Austria, for example.
Yeah, Andrei, I understand it. It might be some implication, but still, it's not so big money. It's first, if I may say like this, and
no, it's I think it's another amount of deposit, not about 100 euro, because we paid for land plot and pass some deposit, something I don't know 5-10% from tender amount.
No, Andrei. It's I guess that Sergey will tell you more, so he will speak next. And it's not about the procurement procedure; it's maybe about the buying procedure. So for procurements, we have the limit of 100 euro. You will not be so there are no procedures for our tenders which exceed the $100 fee.
Okay. And that I think brings us already to the next speaker. If that's okay for you, Andrei, because Sergey will, I think, as Mykola has already pointed out, perhaps also talk about that issue. Yeah, so perhaps there might be some more clarification about that. Thank you very much, Mykola. If there's any other question, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I would say thank you, Mykola. And if there are any other questions, of course, you can still submit them to us, and then we forward it to Mykola.
Good luck to everyone.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Mykola. Now I would like to hand over to our next speaker, Sergey. He was already announced. He will talk about the participation in e-auctions for the sale and lease of government and municipal assets. So, Sergey, the floor is yours, please.
Hallo, Georg. Also ja, sehr gerne. Ich bedanke mich für die Einladung und für die Möglichkeit, kurz die Information über unser Projekt zu teilen. Dann leider muss ich wechseln an Englisch, weil leider kann ich nicht die insgesamte Präsentation auf Deutsch schaffen. Trotzdem, yeah, so my name is Sergey But, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the state-owned joint stock company Prozoro Sale. We are a separate company to the one that was presented shortly before by Mykola. We have also started in 2016, and basically we were moving much in parallel with the Prozoro project. Just a moment, I will share my my build sheet and continue. So I hope that you can see my slides, right?
Yes, we can see.
Great. Yeah, good. Yeah, so we started as the Prozoro Sale project back in 2016, and yeah, I would like to thank Mykola because he presented quite a lot in terms of the entire architecture of the Prozoro platform. I would say that Prozoro.sale platform does have very much in common with the entire technical architecture of the Prozoro, meaning that we are also an open source. We are two-layer system with more than 40 brokers attached to the central platform. We also do have the public business analytic module and many other security and user experience features, but still we are not identical projects. We are not like two copies of the same, because the public procurement process and the process of selling and disposing of public and governmental assets does have much differences in terms of the legal regulations and in terms of the business process itself. And I've heard the question raised by Mr. Andrei, and I will pick it up a little bit later, because yeah, there are some differences in terms of the regulation of the procurement and sales procedures in Ukraine. So basically, like what needs to be mentioned, that here in Ukraine we do have like two basic parts, two basic pillars of state-owned and assets and property management. Like on the one hand, there is the Prozoro that manages the procurement, and there is the Prozoro sale, us, who are in charge, I would say, of the effective and transparent way to sell and to dispose the assets that belong to the government or to the state. In other words, our main purpose was like to assure that that it is possible to buy some property from the state in Ukraine in an efficient and transparent way. So what we basically do, as I've mentioned, we started back in 2016 under the jurisdiction of several important governmental and non-governmental stakeholders, including but not limited to the Ministry of Economy of Ukraine, to the National Bank of Ukraine, with the support of such organizations as Transparency International and international financial institutions like European Bank of Reconstruction and Development. So the basic idea was to introduce the platform for effective sale of public and governmental assets. And what we do have by now is the entire turnover of the assets sold via the Prozoro sale platform approximates like $2.5 billion US. We are running about around 100,000 of auctions per annum, and our average price increase for the entire like very average pattern is more than 40% of price increase. Of course, this can be differentiated between individual auctions between different types of property, because we do have cases when the price came up for literally 10 or even 100 times, but still on the average we achieve like this 40+% of price increase. Yeah, so like the main idea of the Prozoro sale platform was to provide the effective tool for all the participants of the auctions, meaning that for the owners of the property, meaning that the government or the governmental bodies who want to sell or dispose the property of assets. for the buyers, for basically businesses or even individual persons who step in, who come to the auction with the purpose to buy some asset from the government, and of course for the entire community, meaning that the transparency caters for the interest of some civil society organizations who want to, for example, monitor the effectiveness of public property sales in their town or in their region, or on a whatever level of governance. And of course for the state as general, because each auction, when a state sells some asset or property, it is the additional money to the state or municipal budget. So it is like the effect for the overall society. Good. Then, yeah, just a few words on who can sell assets via the ProZorro sale platform. It is the, first of all, government and governmental bodies who own assets. It is the municipalities. It is the state enterprises that can possess some non-profile property or assets which they want to dispose in the most effective way. And we also provide the opportunities for any company or any business in Ukraine, no matter if it belongs to the state or it is 100% in private hands, to use the auction model in order to maximize the potential benefits from the process of selling and disposal of the property and assets. Just for example, about the scope of the assets that can be sold and of course purchased via the ProZorro sale platform, it is a huge variety of assets, like the privatization on both on the nationwide level in Ukraine and on the level of municipalities. It is all run on the basis of the ProZorro sale auctions. In other words, you cannot, I mean, the state or the state property fund cannot privatize any asset or property in any other way except except of making it via electronic auction on the ProZorro sale. And we have a good track record, for example, of selling like difficult or toxic assets like non-performing loans of the bankrupted banks, or the property of the sanctioned or bankrupted entities. So we have different procedures specific to different types of property in order to provide the effective, and which is also very important, in order to provide a correct legal way to sell this property, so that the new owner of the property does not have any consequences after the auction has been completed. So yeah, actually this is the basic idea of the opportunities that the ProZorro sale platform can give to the business, because our very important stakeholder, I would say, is the private business, both big companies or private entrepreneurs who can find the necessary assets on the auctions. And these assets, it can be, for example, a small building or a part of a building to open a cafe there or a barber shop, or it can be some huge industrial facility for bigger investors to scale or to start their new manufacturing plant or whatever is needed. And with this, as I promised, I would like to comment to this question raised earlier by Mr. Andrei. I think that I know which case you are talking to, because, yeah, first of all, we are the Prozoro sale and Prozoro do have a slightly different monetization model. And in our case, in the case of the auctions, the participant has to put the deposit in advance, which is usually the percentage of the starting price. And in case this participant wins the auction ultimately, then this deposit, it is treated as the part of the ultimate price he needs to pay at the end. So yeah, for some auctions, this percentage can be quite big, meaning that it can be a couple of hundreds of euros or dollars. And shortly before the war, I think the National Bank of Ukraine made a special regulation for such cases, treating these deposits as not as the payment for goods or services or whatever, so that after the auction, this advance can be easily returned back to the paying party. So as far as I'm informed, by now, these cases, they are liberated now, and it should be much easier to make these cross-border payments now. But still, from the point of view of convenience and avoidance of any other potential risks, of course, it should be more safe, or more, I would say, feasible to make a subsidiary, for example, locally, so that all these cross-border transactions could be like evaded. So this is my comment to that question, and I guess there is other question in the chart, right? There is a question where can I find the detailed legal and commercial requirements or conditions for companies to register and participate?
Maybe we proceed with questions after the speakers. Yeah.
Good.
This, you can ask your questions in chat or personally, but maybe after the presentation of both speakers. Thank you.
Great. Then from my side, it is all the information for the questions. I will be glad to answer further. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sergey. So please, the floor is opened. Perhaps, Sergey, can you just comment now on this chat question, which you already mentioned before, about the detailed legal and commercial requirements or conditions for companies to register. However, we have one more speaker, and perhaps we wait for Igor from DLF. He might actually answer exactly that type of question. Igor, thank you very much for joining us. DLF is a law consulting firm which is also has extensive experience in the public tendering and in the privatization of assets in Ukraine. And thank you, Igor, that you are with us. The floor is yours.
Okay, vielen Dank, lieber Georg, für die Einladung. Hören Sie mich gut, alle?
Ja, alles gut.
Warten Sie bitte kurz, ich werde meine Präsentation teilen. Und, läuft es?
Ja, wir sehen die Präsentation.
Das Vollbild brauche ich. Jetzt. Funktioniert, oder?
Ja, aber nicht im Vollmodus, glaube ich.
Und jetzt?
Nein, im Präsentationsmodus ist es nicht. Es ist noch im Vorschau-Modus.
Okay, ich glaube, dass da würde ich Katharina Sie bitten, dass Sie meine Präsentation teilen. Ja. Geht das?
Diese, die Sie mir geschickt haben, ja?
Ja, genau.
Okay.
Ich weiß nicht warum, aber manchmal funktioniert das bei mir nicht. Ne? Ja, wunderbar. Ja. Ja, noch einmal schönen guten Tag an alle, ja, und vielen Dank an Ihr Interesse am ukrainischen Markt. Ja. Ich bin der Managing Partner der Anwaltskanzlei DLF und wir beraten vorwiegend deutsch- und englischsprachige Mandanten hier in der Ukraine zu allen Rechtsgebieten, ja, darunter auch öffentliche Ausschreibungen, und wir unterstützen unsere Mandanten in diesem Bereich. Ja. Wie bereits erwähnt, also die vorherigen Redner haben erwähnt, die beste Variante ist eigentlich, wenn ein ausländisches Unternehmen hier eine Repräsentanz oder eine Tochtergesellschaft gründet, dann läuft alles reibungslos. Ja. Obwohl ich auch bestätigen kann, also dass man auch vom Ausland aus an Ausschreibungen teilnehmen kann. Man kann auch gewinnen. Allerdings kann es einige Fragen bzw. Schwierigkeiten geben, wenn wir über irgendwelche Anfechten von diskriminierenden Anforderungen oder Unterlagen sprechen, die im Rahmen der Ausschreibung verlangt werden. Hier ist eigentlich der Plan meiner Präsentation, obwohl einige Themen bereits erläutert wurden. Ich würde hier erwähnen, also dass Gebietsfremde direkt an Ausschreibungen teilnehmen können oder sich mit ukrainischen bzw. mit ausländischen Unternehmen vereinigen können und so ein sogenanntes Konsortium gründen können. Ja. Wenn 2 oder mehr ausländische Unternehmen ein Konsortium gründen, brauchen sie in der Ukraine keine Legal Entity zu gründen. Aber wenn darunter ein ukrainisches Unternehmen ist, natürlich muss man im ukrainischen Handelsregister dieses Konsortium eintragen. In einigen Fällen, wenn die Schwellenwerte entsprechend sind, muss beim Kartellamt eine sogenannte Freigabe zum Zusammenschluss beantragt werden. Und eigentlich, also wenn wir über die Konsortien sprechen, dann hat das also Vorteile, wenn ein ausländisches Unternehmen zum Beispiel mit bestätigter Bonität bzw. mit eigener Ausrüstung in dieses Konsortium eintritt und das ukrainische Unternehmen zum Beispiel über ausreichendes qualifiziertes Personal verfügt und zum Beispiel auch also Lizenzen. Ja. In diesem Fall, also wenn wir über die Lizenzen sprechen, also das ist in einigen Fällen ein langfristiges Verfahren, ja. Und wenn das ukrainische Unternehmen zum Beispiel eine Baulizenz hat, ja, und das österreichische Unternehmen, nehmen wir an, Straßenbauausrüstung in das Projekt reinbringt, ja, kann man das eigentlich also als Teilnehmer an öffentlichen Ausschreibungen, an einer bestimmten Ausschreibung als Vorteil sehen. Hier haben wir die Folie, also eigentlich so 13 zugelassene elektronische Plattformen bestehen im Moment in der Ukraine und eigentlich, also die sind Wettbewerber, das heißt, sie verbessern sich ständig, ja, also es gibt also zahlreiche Vorteile auf jeder Plattform, Marketplace, und Sie als ausländische Unternehmen, Sie können sich dort eintragen, also auf allen zum Beispiel, ja, aber an einer Ausschreibung kann man nur von einer Plattform teilnehmen. Und diese Plattform gilt eigentlich auch also als die Kommunikation zum Beispiel, als Kommunikation mit dem Auftraggeber. Wenn Sie zum Beispiel an einer bestimmten Ausschreibung teilnehmen möchten und die Ausschreibungsunterlagen studiert haben und einige Fragen haben, beziehungsweise merken, dass irgendwelche diskriminierende Anforderungen freiwillig, ja, und rechtswidrig gestellt werden, können Sie dementsprechend den Auftraggeber kontaktieren und verlangen, dass er die Ausschreibungsunterlagen dementsprechend ändert. Wenn das nicht erfolgt und Ihre Interessen dadurch verletzt werden, dann besteht die Möglichkeit der Anfechtung beim ukrainischen Kartellamt. Dort wurde eine entsprechende Kommission gebildet und dann werden natürlich die Anwälte eingesetzt und erklären, also warum entsprechende Anforderungen diskriminierend sind. Ja. Nehmen wir an, also in den Ausschreibungsunterlagen wird die Anforderungen so formuliert an den Auftragnehmer bzw. an den Teilnehmer der Ausschreibung, dass man sofort sieht, dass diese Ausschreibung speziell für einen Hersteller erstellt wurde, ja, zum Beispiel in einem ukrainischen oder wenn wir über ausländische Unternehmen sprechen, also in jedem Sektor bzw. in jedem Bereich gibt es natürlich also auch spezifische Ausrüstung und solche Anforderungen bzw. solche Unterlagen kann man auch anfechten. Und das Einzige, ich würde sagen, nicht das Problem, aber was man berücksichtigen sollte, ist, dass die Fristen für die Anfechtung ziemlich eng sind. Das heißt also, unsere Empfehlung ist immer, dass ich habe die Frage von Andrei Lemech hier gesehen, ja. Das heißt so, dass sein Unternehmen hier in der Ukraine vertreten ist und Sie verstehen schon, dass man hier ziemlich schnell reagieren muss. Ja. Die Anfechtungsfristen sind ziemlich eng. Manchmal geht es um ein paar Tage, ja, und auch über das Wochenende muss man ganz schnell reagieren, beziehungsweise den Auftraggeber darauf aufmerksam machen, dass seine Anforderungen rechtswidrig sind, beziehungsweise beim ukrainischen Kartellamt angefochten werden können. Übrigens, ja, die Registrierung ist ziemlich einfach, also wenn wir über die Registrierung auf diesen elektronischen Plattformen sprechen. Und eigentlich, also als ausländisches Unternehmen kann man die Plattform ist an entsprechende Handelsregister verknüpft. Und wenn wir über die österreichischen Unternehmen sprechen, also an Firmenbuch, beziehungsweise kann man diese einige Informationen dann dementsprechend auswählen. Bitte dann die nächsten Folien. Verfahren, Einreichung. Okay, das ist ein ziemlich einfaches Verfahren. Ja, also wenn Sie sich auf dieser Plattform, auf einer der Plattformen registriert haben, eine bestimmte Ausschreibung ausgewählt haben, die Unterlagen studiert haben, ja, dann bereiten Sie die Unterlagen vor, bieten eigentlich einen Preis an, das hoffentlich der beste ist. Und wenn die Entscheidung über die Zuteilung, über Anerkennung Sie als Gewinner dieser Ausschreibung erfolgt, wird dann ein entsprechender Vertrag abgeschlossen. Mittlerweile ist schon möglich, also einen zweisprachigen Vertrag zu unterzeichnen, ukrainisch-englisch. Und das läuft also ziemlich reibungslos. Hier sind die Qualifikationskriterien eigentlich, also 4, ja, Qualifikationskriterien, die ich zum Teil erwähnt habe, ja. Das sind die Qualifikationskriterien, die die Auftraggeber in den Ausschreibungsunterlagen Anforderungen erwähnen können. Ja, es kann sich um ein Qualifikationskriterium handeln oder um ein paar. Das sind die Verfügbarkeit von Ausrüstung, Material, Technologie oder technischen Anlagen, Anforderungen an Personal, ja, nachgewiesene Erfahrung bei der Ausführung von Aufträgen, die mit dem Gegenstand der Ausschreibung vergleichbar sind. In dem Fall sprechen wir natürlich also über die Lizenzen bzw. bereits erfolgreiche Projekte, die in der Ukraine realisiert wurden, und natürlich also Anforderungen an finanzielle Bonität, das heißt die Solvenz. Dann bitte die nächste Folie. Dann war eine Anmerkung, dass in der Regel erfolgt die Zahlung für die erbrachten Dienstleistungen bzw. gelieferte Ware erst nach der Lieferung der Ware. Und das müssen eigentlich ausländische Unternehmen beachten, ja, weil nicht immer, also manchmal natürlich sehen die Ausschreibungsunterlagen anderes vor, aber in der Regel erfolgt die Zahlung erst nach der erbrachten Dienstleistungen bzw. gelieferten Ware. Bitte die nächste Folie. Genau, ja, diskriminierende Anforderungen. Ich habe schon erwähnt, also, dass die Fristen für die Anfechtung beim ukrainischen Antimonopolkomitee der Ukraine ziemlich eng sind. Und natürlich, also zuerst wendet man sich an den Auftraggeber und verlangt, dass er die Ausschreibungsunterlagen bzw. die Ausschreibungskriterien dementsprechend ändert. Ja. Nehmen wir an, also es gibt also Anforderungen an Personal, mit der auch verlangt wird, dass entsprechend in der Ukraine haben wir die sogenannten Arbeitsbücher, die nachweisen, wie lange ein bestimmter Mitarbeiter oder eine bestimmte Mitarbeiterin beim ukrainischen Unternehmen tätig ist. Und natürlich ausländische Unternehmen haben diese Unterlagen nicht. Deswegen also man muss in jedem Einzelfall prüfen, ja, welche Anforderungen nicht zwingend sind bzw. angefochten werden können. Bitte die nächste Folie. Ja, hier sind ein paar erfolgreiche Beispiele, ja, und wo ausländische Unternehmen eigentlich Vorteile haben, ja, und warum sie meiner Meinung nach unbedingt sich an Ausschreibungen in der Ukraine, an öffentlichen Ausschreibungen in der Ukraine beteiligen sollten, ja. Erstens geht es um Einbau spezieller Hightech-Geräte, ja, wenn wir zum Beispiel auch im medizinischen Bereich, ja, ausländische Unternehmen, die haben wirklich so Vorteile in vielen Bereichen, zum Beispiel medizinische Geräte, oder wenn wir über den Straßenbau sprechen, dann sind türkische Unternehmen ziemlich aktiv hier in der Ukraine und beteiligen sich am Wiederaufbau kriegszerstörter Brücken oder am Straßenbau. Was noch kommen wird, beziehungsweise wir schon sehen im Moment, ja, das sind Dienstleistungen für das Ausbaggern und Reinigen von Gewässern. Ja. Und natürlich also ein gutes Beispiel, ja, von einem der litauischen Unternehmen, die bei der Beschaffung eines Handantriebes für den Kraftwerksdrehkran, ja, sich beteiligten und eine entsprechende Ausschreibung gewonnen haben. Und ich glaube dann schon, ja, dann ist meine Präsentation zu Ende. Ich hoffe, das war ziemlich informativ und freue mich schon auf Ihre Fragen.
Danke sehr, Igor. Thank you very much. Are there any questions from your side? Gibt es irgendwelche Fragen noch an einen unserer Vortragenden? Bitte in den Chat oder direkt einfach stellen. Ich hätte eine Frage an den Igor. I will switch to English, so
Okay.
Sergey and Mikola and Alexei also will understand. there is the examples you were bringing forward, examples for tendering, let's say like this. They are all very specialized services and very specialized, I would say, types of activities. Now, does this mean that there is a type of Ukrainian companies first policy about this, let's say, a tendering of services, anything like this, so that only those services or other possibilities are actually tendered, which cannot be done by Ukrainian companies? Or is it like a type of the tendering is done anyway, and then there might be foreign companies getting it or Ukrainian companies, depending on who is the better bidder?
No, I have only mentioned some successful or some famous tenders that were performed in the last time. And for example, when we are talking about road building, we know German and English and Austrian based companies that are unfortunately not quite active in Ukraine. And I see the opportunity that they can at least they can start analyzing the Ukrainian market and cooperate, for example, with some Ukrainian companies and or start here participating in tenders. But maybe Sari and Mykola will improve me, but there are sometimes I think there are tenders that are focused only on not only, but primarily on foreign companies because of the knowledge. And when we are talking about kernkraft, and in that case, of course, foreign companies have more experience.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I can add from the perspective of Prozoro sale, we do not have any so to say discrimination regarding the jurisdiction of the participant because the assets, all the assets, they do belong to the state in Ukraine, but anyone who is willing to buy, it is no matter if it is the local company or it is the GSA company. But of course, from the perspective of the processing and the documentation architecture, I would say, of course, for the local company, it is usually easier to participate in the auction, and it also like has something to deal with the knowledge because usually the local companies or the local specialists they know more context about the assets, so this needs to be taken into consideration. But in legal terms, there is no such restriction for the auctions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there any other question from the audience?
Please switch on your microphones if you have questions. If no, then maybe in chat, write them in chat, and we can then send your questions to the speakers.
I have one question regarding the procurement platform. So to offer goods for sale in the Ukraine, is there any advantage for companies, for example, who have already donated in the past regarding the reconstruction and rebuilding up of the Ukraine, or like, for example, to support the firefighters and so on with generators? So is this considered as an advantage if you have donated in the past already?
Sergey, do you want to answer this?
I can comment. At the moment, for example, for electronic auctions, there is no such an advantage, meaning that in the process of selling the public assets, the electronic auctions do have only one criteria. It is basically the price. So the state made it quite simple. The one who gives the most money obtains the asset. I know that in procurement process, there are more like I would say diversified criteria. But anyway, Mykola can add or but as far as I know, such items like you're speaking now, I didn't hear that such exist so far, but I might be mistaken for the procurement side here. Thank you.
We will address this question send the question to Mykola, and then we'll come with the answer.
Okay.
So when there are no questions left, I would just invite you, if you have any questions which come up afterwards, just send it to us and we will forward it to our speakers. I would take the opportunity also to thank our speakers for their time. Thank you very much, Mykola, Sergei, also to Igor. Thank you for the very valuable insights. And I think that this is one system which is, because, in my opinion, of the international participation and because of the variety of stakeholders from various ministries ranging towards Ukrainian National Bank, towards EBRD and Transparency International and so on, is a system which is, in my opinion, quite a type of a flagship project, let's say, even for some other European countries. So I would like to congratulate that on that, and we will see how it will turn out. But I think it's very interesting. So thank you very much once more. Thank you for your time, and I would like to close the webinar here and wish you all a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.